and part of the wing of that was like over in this area. But this was a direction that came straight through that little road along there, and it started pivoting up.
Donald Carter, Arlington Cemetery employee. Independent interview recorded June 6, 2008.
So at the time, you know, all of a sudden we seen a plane far over the overhead over the naval annex coming from over. So actually, you know, we spotted him. Then the plane actually veered off, sort of like he swerved off, and then he caught, you know, got on track.
Wobbling, right? Like, you know, I guess by his descending, he was straightening.
Would you say it was more on the north side of the gas station over here, or the south side on the far other end?
It was more on this side.
On the north side?
Right on this side.
Okay.
More on this side.
On the north side?
Right on this side.
Okay.
Just the overhead of the naval, he sort of come over.
And you guys were right over here?
Yeah, we was right over here. He sort of came came like this center, and then he kind of veered over, and then he went on around like that.
Our biggest thing here is trying to figure out exactly where that plane flew.
Right.
And you guys got a really good look at it being right here.
Yes. I was looking. Man.
So, I mean, some people say that it was far over on the other side of the sicko.
No.
What do you have to say about that?
Well, they must didn't see it.
This is a hypothetical reconstruction of their statements animated from their point of view. Coming from on top of the Navy Annex in their direction, and then banking right headed towards the Pentagon. Unlike the witnesses at the gas station, the witnesses at Arlington Cemetery had a clear view of the plane approaching from the Navy Annex and were able to give detailed descriptions of this significant right bank. This relatively slow right bank is an extremely important detail because the officially required southern approach flight path is perfectly straight and cannot have banked right at all at this point. The Arlington National Cemetery workers do not describe a perfectly straight southern approach as seen here and required by the physical damage and official data. Although all of these witnesses believe that the aircraft hit the building, their unanimously corroborated placement of the plane is in direct contradiction with the required south side approach. All of these witnesses work in the area every day, and as mentioned, many of them are on record with the Center for Military History placing the plane in the same place only weeks after the event. Yet some have argued that they are all mistaken or even lying regarding this, but are accurate regarding the alleged impact of the plane, which was much further away and obscured by trees. Furthermore, these witnesses described how they were running away from the scene for their lives and were therefore not paying attention to what the plane did after it passed them, which explains why they believed it hit the building and did not see it flying away.
Nobody was really trying to look to see if it actually was going to hit the building or not hit the building. So everybody was running in the opposite direction for their lives.
Vantage point number 5, from the Pentagon Heliport Tower. Sean Boger, Heliport Air Traffic Controller. Center for Military History official interview NEIT 299, recorded November 14, 2001. Independent interview recorded November 1st, 2007.
And I just happened to be looking out the window, and as I was looking out the window, I could just see a plane. And it was actually like 3 minutes later, so the plane was coming directly at us. And when I saw it, you know, I was just in amazement. So I just looked at it, and I fell to the ground and I covered my head.
Let me ask you, how long or how many seconds would you say that you saw the plane for?
Before we hit?
Yeah.
Maybe about, I'd say between 8 and 15 seconds.
10 to 15 seconds before impact.
Oh, okay, so it was kind of slow.
It was slow, yeah.
I'd say 13 seconds. As an aviator flying 500 knots, he wasn't flying 500 knots.
The NTSB reported the plane's speed at this point at 460 knots, which equals 530 miles per hour, or 781 feet per second. At that airspeed, it would only take a mere 3.4 seconds to travel from the Navy Annex to the Pentagon, in direct contrast to the approximately 10 seconds reported by aviation professionals Sean Boger and Terry Marin, as well as by William Middleton, all who were in strategic positions to be able to tell this detail with accuracy.
Where in relation to the Navy Annex was the plane? Did he come
when I saw the airplane, he was practically in front of the Navy Annex.
Okay.
So he was coming like at an angle. You know, his wings were tilted, so it was almost like he was trying to bank towards the Pentagon building.
So you would say he was kind of almost turning towards the Pentagon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Once again, the significant right bank is corroborated by a key witness, even though this important detail is a fatal anomaly when compared to the official data and physical evidence.
You could see the gas station from there, correct? The Citgo?
Yes.
Okay. Would you say, which side of the gas station would you say the plane was on as it approached? Would you say it was on the left? As you're looking at the gas station, would it be more to the right, like the Arlington Cemetery side? Or would it have been...
on my right and the gas station's left. If I'm looking out the window, if I'm looking towards the gas station, it'll be on my right-hand side. If I'm looking out the window, if I'm looking towards the gas station, it'll be on my right-hand side.
Okay. So, and if you were at the gas station with your at the back of the store with your back to the store facing the Pentagon, it would have been to the left of the gas station. Okay. So it was closer to Arlington Cemetery rather than the highway, Route 27, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's exactly what we've been hearing from. So that it would essentially have had to have come over the Navy Annex. Essentially, was it over the? Would you have guessed the middle of the Navy Annex, or more to your right, or more to your left?
I would say more to the right also.
Now, describe the tilt that you were talking about as it came, or the turn, or as it was tilting, I guess, to the bank, if you will, or whatever. Can you describe it to me at all in any way?
That was just seemed like as he was coming towards me, it just seemed like he was tilting the aircraft to his right.
It started to bank to the right.
Okay.
It was almost like not really going in nose first. It's just like almost like at an angle. Like a right angle.
Okay. So you almost like he was off course and he was turning to straighten out.
Right.
Like all other witnesses in this critical area with the most relevant vantage points, Sean describes the plane as approaching from the Navy Annex and banking to the right as it passed on the north side of the gas station. Sean is an aviation professional whose job was to watch aircraft for a living, making him an extremely credible witness, particularly from his privileged vantage point in the heliport tower right next to the alleged impact. Although he reported the plane hit the building, his corroborated placement of the plane on the north side proves that it could not have, and he does mention that he hit the deck and covered his head, as would be the natural reaction for anyone watching a plane head directly towards them. From 5 critical and opposing vantage points, 13 eyewitnesses independently and unanimously confirm a north side approach, fatal to all official data, reports, and the physical damage. All of these witnesses have worked in the area for many years and are extremely familiar with the topography and landmarks. Some have been officially documented reporting the same thing only weeks after the event, and others are aviation professionals and police officers who are therefore expert witnesses. Absolutely none of the independent witnesses willing to go on record have supported a south side approach. None of these witnesses were aware of the implications of where they saw the plane when they were interviewed. Since the release of their interviews in the public domain, all have been made aware of the implications, yet stand by their stories as reported, and none have claimed their accounts have been misrepresented. Most could not see the alleged impact point due to the complex topography and landscape, and admit to running, dropping, or flinching for cover, explaining why they did not see the plane flying away. But their independent and unanimous placement of the plane on the north side amounts to proof beyond a reasonable doubt that it did fly away without hitting the building. Although the witnesses presented so far did not see the plane flying away, we know that some did. Pentagon police officer Roosevelt Roberts Jr. saw the plane flying away immediately after the explosion. He was at the Pentagon South parking lot loading dock only a few steps inside the building during the explosion, but immediately ran outside and saw the plane flying away. He officially testified to this in a recorded interview for the Library of Congress on November 30th, 2001, only weeks after the event.
And then my sergeant, Sergeant Woolridge, Woody, he called and he said, "Hey, Rob, listen, we're going to Threadcon Delta." As I hang up the phone, the plane hit the building. It all came at the same time. Watching the TV, it was almost timed for preciseness. So as I hung up the phone and I ran to the center of the dock and I looked up and I saw another plane flying around the south parking lot. It's about like 9:12, 9:11 in the morning.